Lands from the... I...
Hello, everybody. They really pop. That's because I did my eye makeup. Thank you. I'm half a dozen margs in. I'm munching on nachos. All is well. Yo, Paladin. Sounds like you having a good night. Full disclosure, chat. I went out and I bought some new weed gummies today to try out. They taste like pink lemonade. They're a bit stronger than what I'm used to, so I'm quite zooted, as the kids say. $1800 blood orange margarita mix. The shit! Excellent. I'm eating chicken strips? Hell yeah. Live your best life. Oh no. Wait. Okay, you know what? we're gonna watch this because holy shit, we can't not. Okay. Pick Team Ganon? Hell yeah. I have these Delta 9 gummies. I'm trying to get rid of them because it's way too much zoot per gummy. Oh yeah, no, Paladin lost. I have to, like, chop them up into eighths. Otherwise, I am so gone. But also, I may have eaten about half of one, so... Yeah. I think you guys are going to enjoy these Joe Rogan clips about his really deep and abiding love for the Lego property known as Bionicle. I take a 10 milligram square. I had a lot more than that. All right, here we go.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
All right, Joe, are you ready to see some of the excellent video content on the Bionicle Power Pack CD-ROM?
Hell yeah, I'm hyped. Please show me this Bionicle information so I can download it into my cranium.
Okay, so first I want to start you off with this video featuring Vakama, the Taraga of fire.
Yo,
Whoa, it's one of the tow canisters. Whose canister is this?
This is Tahu's canister, and by the looks of it, he washed up on the beaches in the Tawahi region.
That time Bionicle made Dune. What? What the hell?
Wait, there's a leftover arm/leg piece in the sand. How did he walk away without one of his limbs?
The cause for this is unknown, but it's speculated that the tow canisters contain spare pieces, much like a Lego set.
Okay, I can believe that. That animation was awesome. What's next on the CD?
Next, I would like to show you the 6 character animations for each of the Toa. They showcase them in their environments, and it gives you a sense of how they move about in their distinct elemental regions.
Word, bring it on.
Okay, we'll watch them in order. First, let's watch Bahatu's video.
Yeah, like what the hell? The animation in these Bionicle videos
Wow,
is actually
right off the
really
bat,
good for the time.
I didn't expect them to make these robotic noises every time they move their limbs. That's fucking badass. Also, it's cool how he's just carrying his mask in his hand. I never really pictured them without their mask on. Yo, I love kicking that shit with my Pohatu figure. Oh damn, that boulder got kicked hard. And he just chest bumps it. And then he moonwalks after?
Isn't that friggin' awesome? Bahatu really was the coolest of the crew. He was multi-talented, and he could impersonate Michael Jackson better than anyone else on Madanui.
The
All right,
goddamn
next,
moonwalk.
let's watch Onua's video.
Yo, this reminds me of a challenge we had on Fear Factor. I always loved Onua. What's my bro doing here?
Here, he's using his powers of night vision and sense of vibration to make tunnels that run in the Onuahi region.
Word, this guy finished his work. Even though he's one of my all-time faves, this video didn't have a whole lot of action. It's still cool, though. All right, let's watch the next clip.
Okay, next is Galley.
I can't believe they just uploaded all of these Bionicle little shorts.
Wow, Galley's great at swimming. I love that technique. I also love that mask.
Wait,
it really reminds me of a snore.
Wait, I assumed they were made out of metal. How do they move? How do they swim? How do the Bionicles swim if they're made out of metal? How does this work? Is this one unique for like having I don't know, like water? They're made of like, well, but in the lore, Archangel, the lore, they're both biological and machine? What part of them is biological? Are they basically Optimus Prime, but that they have like fleshy like genitals or something? Like what's going on here? Someone explain to me the biology of Bionicles. Wait, I'm gonna Google that. Okay, yeah, nearly all life forms seen in Bionicle are biomechanical, with a few exceptions, like Krana and Krata being completely organic, and Barok being Barok are fully mechanical. Okay, gotcha. My goodness.
Snorkel mask.
Did you not read all Bionicle lore? No.
Damn, those hooks are hella
When I was reading all political theory, the Bionicle political theory didn't come up.
useful. When playing with the galley figure, you can actually make her hang off of stuff. When I played with her in the pool, I would have her climb the pool ladder, but I would pretend that this scenario took place in the region of Gawahi.
Yes, her Toa tools were some of the most interactive when it came to using them for environmental travel. What I would do is I would have her hanging on the towel bar.
Wait, did someone... And you call yourself autistic. Look, all I'm saying is I don't think we as a society are so far gone that we have Bionicle porn turning up on page 1 of Google Images. Not yet.
In the
Not
bathroom
now.
when my hands were preoccupied while I was synthesizing brown crystals on the crapper. She would literally hang out with me when I was in there. She would always be by my side.
Synthesizing brown crystals on the shitter? Where do you come up with this shit?
I don't know, man. That's just how I say it.
That sounds like a cool way to use her. I gotta bring her with me to more places. Okay, let's watch the next one.
Sure, let's now watch Leiwa's video.
Okay, that was cool, but there really isn't much to say about this one.
Agreed. I feel like they could have shown off a bit more of his personality in this sequence. Perhaps some of his outstanding problem-solving skills, his excellent sense of humor, or his adventurous nature. That clip was mildly disappointing.
Yeah, I guess I like that part where he was up high, gaining a new perspective, but that's pretty much all they showed. All right, let's move on to the next clip.
Okay, Joe, the next one is Tahu's.
It's wild seeing Tahu without his mask on. What is he doing? Yo, this guy likes to endanger himself just for the fuck of it. Shit, son. This is the most badass thing I've ever seen. Damn. He almost got wrecked in that volcanic cave.
Damn.
That video kicked ass.
If you thought that was cool, wait until you see Kopaka's. I saved the best for last.
God, Kopaka was always the coolest.
Get ready for this crazy shit.
Yo, that avalanche is going to get him.
What?
I like how he's just taking his sweet-ass time to turn around. Wow, he froze that avalanche in time. Dude, that was badass. This video deserves an award for being the GOAT. Greatest of all time.
I agree. That video was perfect. It showed Kopaka's environment, his personality traits, and his elemental power. And he barely even moved. He performed all of these actions while simply standing in place. That's impressive.
Hell yeah, bro. That video was outstanding. That was for sure the best of the batch. That was awesome, man. This CD was really cool. Is there anything else worth showing me on this CD-ROM?
I would say that was the cream of the crop for this CD. There are actually a few more Bionicle
Nendrine.
CD-ROMs that I could show you at another time. For example, there was a Nestle promotional Bionicle CD in 2001 that came with various Nestle breakfast cereals, such as Nesquik,
Nestle.
Honey Nut Cheerios, as well as the standard flavorless Cheerios.
Dude, that's awesome. I didn't know about the Nestle promotional CD. Did you get one back in the day?
I did. I got one from a box of Nesquik. I love eating that shit. I also got other Lego Nestle promos back in the day, such as set 4051, Quickie the Bunny. To this day, he is my most cherished Lego minifig I have ever collected.
Yo, he's sick. I want to see if I can buy this lil homie on eBay.
Good luck, man. Motherfucker's expensive and rare. You ain't gonna find this chocolatey bitch anywhere.
Shit, well, I'll keep my eyes peeled for him. Anyways, thanks for showing me this information.
I really, I really need to hear Jordan Peterson say that again. Okay.
Collected.
Yo, he's sick. I want to see if I can buy this lil homie on eBay.
Good luck, man. Motherfucker's expensive and rare. You ain't gonna find this chocolatey bitch anywhere.
Shit, well, I'll keep...
Just the line, "You ain't gonna find this chocolatey bitch anywhere," is really hitting.
My eyes peeled for him. Anyways, thanks for showing me this information. I have now completed the download of this information into my cranium.
Save file to computer?
Yes.
Download complete, motherfucker.
But we got a part 2.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
So, when I was conducting some research on all the 2001 Bionicle sets, I came across one I had never seen before, set 8546 Bionicle Power Pack. Do you know anything about this set?
I do. In fact, I was lucky enough to get it at the time of its release.
Oh, yeah? I saw that it retailed for $15 or 9 quid and 99 pence in the United Kingdom, but I couldn't find any information about which stores it was sold at. Where did you buy yours?
I vividly remember the day I bought it. I was at Costco, and I was there to buy several packages of Charmin Ultra toilet paper. You see, it was in 2001 when Charmin introduced the 3 bear cubs into the Charmin bear family. I adored those charming old commercials that would play on TV, and I wanted to treat myself to a soft wipe for my tushy, so I headed down to the Costco to pick some up, among other things. It was when I grabbed some of that luxuriously soft toilet paper that I noticed an entire pallet of Bionicle Power Packs nearby.
Okay, so it was sold at Costco. Thanks for confirming that. I couldn't find any data points confirming how this product was sold. Anyway,
this is just so niche that I can't not love it. Would you ever stream the Bionicle adventure game that's preserved on Lego Project or whatever it's called? I would consider it.
anyways, please continue with your story.
So there I was in the Costco, and I had just spotted the Bionicle Power Pack. What had really caught my eye was the chrome silver HOW mask that was visible in the window on the front of the packaging. At the time, I had never seen or heard about this set, so I was extremely eager to find out what it was. As I flipped the packaging around, I had discovered that a CD-ROM was included, along with an exclusive Bionicle figure named Hafu.
Wow, that's fascinating. I knew that Hafu had a release in 2003, but I didn't know he was also included in this special collector set in 2001.
Well, you see, this version of Hafu was completely different than set 8585, the one released in 2003. This version used the same pieces as the McDonald's Tahunga sets, or the McTaurin, as they are sometimes referred to as. You could consider him as the 7th McTaurin, and he was exclusively found in the Bionicle Power Pack.
Dude, that's sick. I love the McTaurin. I collected all 6 of those guys, and I had no idea there was a 7th. Those were some of my favorite Bionicles ever made. I loved the Frisbees they could throw from their arm.
What's interesting about Hafu...
Yeah, what are those Frisbee things, chat? What are the Frisbee things that the Bionicles throw? Shit like Bionicle doesn't get made anymore? It's true.
Is that he also came with a throwing disc, but it was the same as Jala's disc from the McDonald's set, which had a HOW mask printed on it.
Speaking of the HOW mask, you said that it came with a chrome silver one. Did this piece get released in any other sets?
Although you could get a silver HOW mask in the Kanoe mask packs, that color was a slightly different variation. It was more of a dull silver color. The HOW mask included in the Bionicle Power Pack was chrome silver and had a mirror-like finish. It was the most beautiful piece of fine art I'd ever laid my eyes on. When I look at the mask from time to time, I handle it with gloves so I can forever preserve that precious shimmer. A good condition chrome silver HOW mask could fetch $30 or more on Bricklink, and I intend on preserving its integrity until the day I die, Joe.
Well, 100% I would do the same if I owned one as well. So aside from the Bionicle Hafu, the chrome HOW mask, and the CD-ROM, was there anything else that was included in the set?
The fourth item included in this collector's set was a foldable poster which contained images of the various Bionicle that came out in 2001. On the opposite side of the poster was a large print of the island of Matanui. I still have this poster framed on my wall in my home office to this day. When I first hung the map on the wall, I would spend hours studying the geography of the 6 regions of Matanui.
So that's how you became a professor in the field of Bionicle? By studying all the...
Why can't we live in this universe Why can't we live in the universe where Jordan Peterson went to Canadian college to learn about the long and storied history of Bionicle? Why can't that be the world we live in? Dr. Jordan Peterson, Doctor of Bionicle lore.
All the materials and literature?
Yes, but I would also memorize all the contents of the CD-ROM as well. For example, the Bionicle Power Pack CD had a quiz that you could do, and I would study every night for weeks so I could ace that test with 100% accuracy.
Impressive. So what else was contained on the CD?
Well, if you played this disc in a CD player, you could also listen to 3 music tracks as well. What's awesome is that the songs were actually credited to some of the TOA, as if they were musicians.
Wow, really?
I'm not making this up. For example, track 3, titled Kumo Rocks, was programmed by Kopaka, and the vocals and guitar were performed by Gali.
No way. Dude, that's fucking awesome. Can we listen to this song?
Sure. Let's listen to a quick sample of Kumo Rocks.
Fuck. Oh, damn. That actually goes really hard.
Holy shit, so that's what Bionicle music sounds like? I am definitely curious to hear the rest.
Yeah, you might enjoy some of their songs. There are also many more songs featured in the various Bionicle video games. You should check out the soundtracks to some of those games if you're curious.
Dude, that's dope. I'm shocked right now. Can you show me more of the content that's on the CD-ROM?
Yes, it would be my pleasure, Joe. Coming up.
I played them in the wrong order. I'm sorry. Wait. This is very operatic. This is very Batman-y. Okay, that was pretty cool. Thank you for joining me on that rabbit hole of an adventure, Chet. I appreciate it. How we all doing, folks? Happy Friday. Happy Friday, one and all. I know I'm very late to the stream today. But I hope you're all having a good night. Yeah, this is not ideal timing for sure. Playing Conan Exiles? That sounds... oh yeah, that's the Dong game. Yeah. Ninjago ran so Monkey Kid could trip over its own dick and fall off a cliff? What is Monkey Kid? What is that? Literally the coolest Lego thing that nobody cared about. Oh, I'm sorry. Lego Journey to the West? You are looking very pretty. I was wearing like a really cute outfit today. I had like a black kind of tunic dress with black leggings that were like kind of textured, and black shoes, little silver belt. It was a really cute outfit. Really cute outfit today. Then I took it off because I was having a panic attack. Also, hi. Are you enjoying the stream? I know we've only been going 30 minutes, but I hope you're having a good time. Cause yeah. The dress, nice. Yeah. The panic attack was not great. Never been so panicked that it was really hard to breathe before. But yeah, pretty wild stuff. Hey Distron, hello Very Knifey Duck, hello Nindreen, hello Snuggly Click. You know what? I'm just gonna move on. I'm just gonna go on. You know, we're gonna throw on this next video. Here. It's a Jubilee.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
They're all gay. Except one of them. Chat, can you figure out who the straight is?
When did everyone realize they were gay?
Probably, like...
One of these motherfuckers is gonna be bisexual. Like, that's gonna be the reveal. Like, all of them are gay, except one of them is extra gay.
End of high school, after my first relationship, it was a girl, and it was just not for me.
I think for me, it was in middle school. It was like before puberty.
Jubilee,
so I was just kind of figuring things out for myself. And also other kids were understanding too. So that really helped me to find myself when I would talk about it.
15.
Oh.
So I know exactly when it was. I grew up in a very religious home, and I too was in relationships with girls. So what I did was I hid myself.
Dude, his name's Lucifer? Dude, this guy's cool as shit. Like, look at that jacket. And that little ponytail in the back. That's cool as fuck.
For a long time. So I'm trying not to tear up. It wasn't until the pandemic when I came out to my little brother.
I actually knew when I was 8. My grandma took me to see Mamma Mia, and if you have seen the movie, you know the beach scene, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I knew something was just a little bit off about me when I realized that I was more attracted to Sky than I was Sophie. I'm like, something about him.
You know, mine honestly is right after Twilight came out. Robert Pattinson, I don't know.
So
Yo,
good.
whose team? So good.
Of course, Pattinson for sure. Edward.
I knew in middle school, like, there was something up with me. I was like, I like men. That's 100%. But I called myself bisexual. And then freshman year in high school, I was just like,
Red jacket guy's
the
the
way I
fake?
feel about women is nothing like the way I feel about men.
Okay.
Red jacket guy, I trust you. Don't you betray me like this.
I already revealed mine, but what is everyone's favorite celebrity crush?
Mine is also a vampire. It's Paul Wesley from
Okay.
Vampire Diaries. He was like my
Okay.
gay awakening, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well mine was Robert Pattinson, so the vampire.
Yeah, we got
Ross Lynch. Something about that man is just, ooh, just, I just love Ross Lynch. Yeah.
Prince and Idris Elba.
Mine right now.
Sane choices. Holy shit. Prince and Idris Elba are both hot, fine-ass men, okay?
I think is Pedro Pascal.
You're on the Pedro Pascal
He's so
train.
cute. Yeah. Yeah, I am.
I'm your daddy.
Matt Bomber from White Collar. Love.
What the fuck?
Mine right now. I think is Pedro Pascal.
You're on the Pedro Pascal
He's so
train.
cute. Yeah. Yeah, I am.
I'm your daddy.
Matt Bomber from White Collar. Love. Like the snake eyes are so sexy. Like that's it.
What do you guys hate about straight men?
Their inability to like take criticism or
my
take
God,
no as an
yes.
answer.
Yeah.
Like, what is up?
Oh god, no. Wait. I'm sorry. Don't worry, we'll be back, chat.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
I'm gay.
Now we
I'm
have to
gay.
start from
I'm
the
gay.
beginning.
I'm gay.
Literally.
Their inability to have any sort.
What is up with that? Like, I understand patriarchy and all that, but still,
I know, like consent.
literally.
Their inability to have any sort of fashion. It's just t-shirts,
Just about to
And
say
jeans.
that.
t-shirts, jeans, or like just basketball shorts.
You know, you see those men who clearly use like the 3-in-1 shampoos, and I'm just like,
Oh my gosh.
how?
They brush their teeth with it.
Yeah, like I swear.
Oh my god, this one guy had a 10-in-1. I did not even
No
want to ask
way.
what it meant.
Lucifer, I just wanted to ask you. So you said at 15 is when you knew, right? That you were gay.
Yes, that's when I came to terms with it for myself.
And then you said like during COVID was when you told your brother.
Yes.
So that whole time he didn't know.
No.
Really? How did that feel for you? Because were you guys close or?
We were, but I moved from Memphis when I was 18.
Okay.
We've been long distance for all that time.
I see.
He really didn't make a big deal.
I will also feel betrayed if Lucifer is straight. I would go so far as to say that if Lucifer is like a straight man, I feel like the show's obviously planting someone and I don't know, paying them to be like I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't you betray me like that, Lucifer.
Deal out of it, just told me that he loved me no matter what.
I see. Well, can I ask why did you not come out to him earlier if you guys felt so comfortable together with that? Or supportive?
Yes, so for me, when I was growing up, the thing that mattered most was getting married and having a family. I had to keep that facade a long time. I was actually practicing to be a minister in 2012, right when President Obama declared gay marriage legalized nationwide. And when I was in...
I want to hear more.
Hey, have you spotted the mole yet? Well, hang tight because we're gonna get there. Until then, subscribe to our channel.
Sure, but I
that he's wearing is really tacky.
Oh wait, no.
Sorry, just he's wearing is...
My hatred for ads.
That tank top that he's wearing is really tacky.
Sorry, just the jeans and a shirt.
good luck, guys. It kind of.
That would like genuinely hurt my feelings if somebody was like, you're not gay enough, you know?
Hurted a little bit, kind of hurted.
Why do you think they were suspicious of you?
Mainly because I'm wearing just jeans and a t-shirt, but I look stylish and I look amazing, so.
Lucifer, I remember you were mentioning that like gay marriage was being legalized in 2012, but it was 2015, right?
2013.
Yeah, that's
2013?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, yeah, because
Oh no.
it was, I remember it precisely. I was on the phone with my pastor, actually, when that announcement was made.
He was running in 2012, so yeah, he
Right,
would have.
right.
So 15? 16? I'm bad at math.
I'm terrible.
Well, it took a while for it to actually go into legislation.
Gotcha.
So you can say 2012.
I don't... It's not in legislation, really.
But if you're technically, yes, it did take a few years into that second term before it was actually registered. What are some things you look for in a guy?
Oh, creativity, style, and confidence.
Number one would be hygiene.
I need some water.
I bathe at least twice a day, if not more.
We're in a drought.
So,
Not anymore.
baby, please look. I gotta freshen up. So I expect that from someone else.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Yeah. Yeah, my boyfriend, or my ex-boyfriend.
Oh, no.
Yeah, every time I'd come in, like, the room was just super messy. And, like, I'm really big on bathroom cleanliness.
Yes, it's the last place you are at night and the first place you are in the morning. And most traditional men are just dirty in the bathrooms.
Right.
Also, I don't think it's pink shirt guy. I don't think pink shirt guy is the secret one. Well, I know now. Thanks, guys. I don't think it's pink shirt guy. Pink shirt guy isn't the imposter. I think it's either this guy on the far left or the guy in, I think it's blue shirt or striped shirt.
For me, definitely funny, and I mean, obviously you have to look good. I think that's not started though.
Mine is basically somebody that could just hang and vibe with me. I'm a very active person, whether that be like I'm going out hiking, I go out working out. Height doesn't really matter. I mean, haven't found anybody as tall as me yet.
How tall are you?
6'6".
Okay.
How tall are you?
6'2", but I have these on right now, so a little bit taller.
I love those, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
they're
They're brand
very
new. They're Doc Martens.
Me too.
Look at.
I love dogs.
These are the brand new model. They have little hooks.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know. I saw those.
Oh,
I
they're
saw
so
those.
cool.
Did you miss the memo that we were supposed to wear boots today?
Yes.
I did.
You know,
I do prefer
You're supposed
men
to
that
dress
are
hot.
shorter than me, a little more on the submissive side.
We're out.
I hate the bottom.
Oh.
I'm just being honest. I guess because I was in such a controlled environment for so many years, I just have a way of controlling that space.
can we run down and say what we are? Like, you already answered.
Yes.
We'll say bottom.
Top. Or verse. Top verse.
I say I'm a verse top.
Yeah, verse bottom.
He's definitely a bottom.
Ricky is a bottom for sure. Did you see what this man was wearing? Had the midriff and all.
Yeah, just takes the right person for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's very dependent. But honestly, like, the verse comes in more so when it's with, like, hookups and stuff like that.
Well, baby, I'm a Scorpio, so like.
Me too.
Oh, nice. So nice.
When Matt dapped up Lucifer,
That was, I was like, okay, that was a little straight.
That felt very hetero to me. Ew.
Oh, and my other thing, if they're
That felt very hetero to me. What? Why? What?
open to threesomes, because I want to do that.
Hey, say it to the camera. He's looking
If
for
you're
the belt.
out there and you're open to threesomes, Lucifer is available.
I think it's better on paper. I just want to break the truth to you.
Really?
Because it's just another person.
Yeah,
it just gets a
who
lot. I
gave
don't
it
know. I
not
just feel
down?
like
I
right?
completely agree. It's more of a novelty, for sure.
Is it like a lot of
Yes,
just
it's
sitting
more of a
around
novelty.
or
sitting around.
Yeah, one person's waiting.
When's the my turn, guys?
No, it's like 2 at a time. I mean, it's like great.
Let's do a round of smash or pass.
Dominic Fike.
Smash.
Michael B. Jordan.
Smash.
Ooh, Creed 3.
Oh my
Creed
god.
3. The Rock.
What?
Cringe. I'm sorry, it was cringe.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Wait,
sorry.
that's so surprising to me because you said that you were a top, like you like being in control. Dude, The Rock?
Yeah. I can take it.
He might be a
People
secret
shorter
bottom.
than you. Wait.
Yeah, I am. But
The
I
Rock
mean,
is huge.
I've
Okay, I
been
got it.
watching wrestling for a long time too.
Oh, they're gonna vote out Lucifer. No. They're gonna do it to him, chat.
Ain't nobody topping The Rock. Come on.
That's sus. Rock's ugly.
What? He's ugly? Fuck you. Fuck you, gay guys! This is why we're losing
Oh, they bitches. They jealous. They see.
This is why we're losing the culture war. This is why conservatives hate us.
See, I'm totally star power. They just didn't want to share the money with me. I'm not someone that gets offended easily, but bitch, that offended me. I am offended. This is the shit I'm talking about. This makes no damn sense. Look at me. What?
No.
Do I look straight to you? Come on.
If you want to continue playing.
Oh wait, that wasn't gonna reveal that he was. Oh, I thought that was going Lucifer. You had me going, you dramatic bitch. Give him a show. Give him a show.
Because you think that there's potentially still liars among the four of you in the box, raise your hand on 3, all right? 1, 2, 3.
Wait, raise your hand, just continue playing?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
So you four are confident that the mole is out. Is that correct?
I think so.
I can unconfidently say.
Yeah. These like my besties right here.
So that means the game has ended. If the box turns green, you have correctly voted the mole out, and you four will share a cash prize. If the box turns red, that means the mole is still among you four, and they win the cash prize themselves. Are you guys ready?
God, I knew I was unconfident.
Don't act
I was
surprised.
unconfident. I said.
What?
I said.
No. Why would I act surprised? This is. One of you aren't my besties.
One of you are my besties.
All right. So the mole has won.
Hey, Airbnb Abortion, thank you for the gifted sub over on Twitch. Hey, welcome. Hey, Zinc Jock. Also, hello, Josephine Lumiere. Also, chat, if you don't donate subs or bits or make direct donos over on riverboat.gg, I will die. So maybe consider, possibly, maybe, supporting the channel. I am thoroughly zooted, chat.
And on the count of 3, I'm gonna have the mole step forward. 1, 2.
Oh shit, who is it? Who is it?
3.
What? We're all the moles?
Let's go.
I think there was
What the fuck?
Look at us. We are besties after all.
Hey,
I was very confused. I was like,
You had me with the.
I am very upset. I am very upset that Lucifer betrayed me like this. I am betrayed by the very concept of the show. Boo, I say! Boo! This has offended me more than any Jubilee video I've seen yet. Remember when I made that comment earlier that it could be none of them because Jubilee fucked me for being right? Yeah, fuck you, Very Knifey Duck. You made this happen with your prophesizing. I'm just so upset about Lucifer not being gay. He better be at least bisexual. Forced feminization time.
The fit, Ricky.
For real?
Honestly, yeah.
We got, this is gay face right here. This is gay face. Airbnb Abortion, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Also, yes, surviving under capitalism is difficult.
Yes.
Dude, thank you. Dude, this is my girlfriend's tea.
Yeah. I thought everybody misheard the question.
Dude, I took a step and I was like, are these people stupid? Like, why is everyone else stepping up? Like, I'm only straight. Dude, y'all are gay.
I thought that everyone was gay.
Had either of you ever been mistaken as gay or more feminine?
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. For a long time.
I know. Every night I feel like when I go out with my friends or whatever, I get hit on by more guys than girls sometimes, and it's very common, yeah.
I got mistaken for being gay a lot of the time. I'll be honest, I went on dates with guys because so many people were suspecting me of it, but I was just like,
I'm upset.
that's not me. After being on those dates, I was like, I like women. That's a fact.
My story that I was telling was very genuine. I'd suppressed my alternative to being macho straight for a long time because I just don't fit the mold for the typical straight guy. There's always questions of, is he or isn't he?
F***ing hell, dude. I've been training for this for a week.
How did you train for it?
Bro, I FaceTimed all my gay homies. They were saying like, I'm gonna be a verse top because that's like the least sus, but it's also gay. Dude, I practiced walking, I practiced my fits. I was doing like 360 Snapchat videos, like, damn, do I look gay or not? Like, does my ass pop?
I work at Urban Outfitters. There's a lot of gay men. He helped me pick up this nail polish.
I called all my gay friends, and I watched like.
This is vaguely offensive, right? This is like a little offensive, right? I feel somewhat offended by the stereotyping. What the fuck?
A whole bunch of drag. I watch so much drag, bro. Like, and it's actually really good. So I would probably keep watching like after this.
I think my game plan was to just not offend anybody. I hope I stuck to that. Because I'm very inclusive.
I applied for this episode because, especially right now with the whole red pill movement, Aiden Ross, Andrew Tate, the toxic male influences out there, that it's very important to show like other men, and especially younger men that are coming up into this world, that it is okay to be feminine. Is it okay to express your emotions? Is it okay to be vulnerable?
Yeah, but you lied. You lied about all. You weren't being vulnerable. You were just lying for a game show. God damn it. God damn it. Oh. Yeah, honestly, like, there should have been a big burly, like, lumberjack type.
Everyone, doesn't matter what your looks, sexuality, gender are, just accept everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's a little bit different.
And don't be mad if you're not as confident as the people who are.
Like, not jumping to conclusions and not, like, stereotyping anyone, letting them speak for themselves.
But I just don't stereotype anyone. Says the panel of straight dudes who trained to be gay. That also, none of the messaging that you guys are spreading, all of it's undermined by the fact that you were doing the stereotypes. For fuck's sake, one of them had to put on, like, clothing that wasn't even his. They didn't even just present themselves authentically. They all, like, wore a gay fit. Come on. Jubilee is just so terrible. Like, regularly.
Yeah.
I changed my lock screen to a dude as well, bro. This is my homie Nick.
Bruh.
He's in the bed. I said, yo, send me a selfie with your nipple. He sent it. Yeah.
But I put a picture of mine like that too.
This is my
Like,
boss.
yeah. Because all dudes. Because I was like, if I turn my phone on, they see my phone. I was like,
yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Dude. What the fuck? I just don't know, guys. Oh. Goodness. Look, I'm not saying it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, Distraught. I'm just, like, vaguely offended.
Lance from the Surfs, friend.
Hey, apparently Lance from the Surfs went on Tim Pool's show, and I figure we'll get the Majority Report's opinion on it. I didn't watch it, but they have a half-hour-long breakdown, so let's take a look. Let's avail ourselves of their wisdom.
To the show, great guy. Went on Tim Pool. Tim Pool, have me on. I would love to come on. Again, this is like I'm constantly trying to pitch myself for debate bro situations. I'm not a bro, but I can debate, and I'll do it. Lance went on Tim Pool's show, and this is one part of it here where they're speaking about conservatism. We have, I guess, what, 3 clips from this? Speaking about I guess Tim Pool's show and if it is conservative or not. And Lance tries to give some perspective on what the show is actually espousing.
This is not a conservative show, but if you are in a cult, you wouldn't know that. You would only hear what the cult says.
So here's what I have to respond to that. If an objective person, say an alien, just showed up and looked at your channel, Tim, and went through all the videos, and you were to ask them, poll them, is this person and his views, where would you place them? Most likely they would say conservative. That's going to be my bet.
That's actually wrong.
Yes.
But more because the guests that come on
Not
tend
just
to
even the
identify.
guests, but the way they're framed, the thumbnails, the words that you put in red, and the whether or not you're supporting or going against one, either the Democrats or Republicans. But hey, you tell me that you guys don't like the Democrats and you don't like the Republicans. This is not a Republican stream. You don't want to endorse Republicans in any way, shape, or form, or vote for them. I don't. Big no.
I don't vote for Republicans we do like.
Okay, sure. But there's a lot of right wingers who watch you, right? So that's what I mean when I say you do have a voice and you do have an audience of right wingers who are going to vote at one point or another. 30% of your audience is right wing.
Most of the people who watch this, the largest faction is libertarian.
Okay.
The next largest would be considered traditional liberal. Oh no, I think.
But along party lines, who are the libertarians going to vote for? Not the libertarian.
The audio quality is just terrible. But yeah, like libertarian. Come on, Tim. Who do you think they're voting for?
Party, most likely they're going to vote for whoever.
When they come on this show and say abolish the police.
One of the two, Republican or
Yeah,
Libertarian.
most likely,
usually.
yes, one of the two. So that's why I say, Tim, for the people who watch you who are Republican leaning, why not frame it that way for them so that they can actually start pushing more money into that?
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, Lance isn't particularly someone I would pick for like being good in a debate. Like, he has a lot of correct information, but I don't think it's necessarily I don't think he is as rhetorically effective as he could be, if that makes sense. Do you think Lance is dumb? No, I don't think Lance is dumb. That's not what I said. I just meant that, like, you can be extremely smart, but there are levels of rhetorical skill that, like, are able to leverage the, your smarts, You need to be able to effectively communicate that that knowledge.
That's basically true, I think, in a lot of ways.
That's what Moonlord does.
Wait, I watched it live. Lance started off a bit slow, but ended up strong, in my opinion. Okay, cool.
Okay, so, I mean, I didn't understand, Tim's desire to distill people to, like, their voting patterns is a kind of infantile way to view his audience. It's obtuse on purpose. And he picks arguments by libertarians that are sometimes said to bring people over to their side, but that are not really activating in terms of like their actual political activity or voting patterns, like the abolish the police thing, or like the, legalize all drugs thing, end the drug war. Those are things that libertarians will raise their hand and say, hey, we can find common ground with progressives on this. But for the most part, it's a red herring, because they'll always vote Republicans in terms of which party actually has a realistic chance to win. And when they do, the things that they really are most in favor of is dismantling the administrative state, lowering taxes, and making sure that our social safety net is as threadbare or non-existent as possible, which is stuff that the left is primarily focused on opposing. So that's not a really great argument.
Yeah, you could say the legalized drugs thing, or the abolishing police, or the police state. Then say 2 words, and then that's where we really divert into the voting Republican category, which is private property.
Yeah, right.
And anything that has to do with private property and public space.
And when you say that, Bradley, what do you think that libertarians think about private police forces?
Yeah,
maybe acting in the same way
as we've seen
as mercenaries.
As we've seen with multiple multiple debates that Sam has done with different libertarians, Anthony Fury or Larry Sharp or Yaron Brook, like all of them are like, yeah, we'd have private judicial courts, we'd have privatized courts, so any sort of public good would be privatized for some sort of economic gain or some sort of
and they pretend that would create some sort of equitable society local control when I don't know, ExxonMobil has its own court that it funds. That's going to be really impartial. So like the libertarian ideology is Republican ideology. That's why we have guys like Mike Lee and Rand Paul within the Republican Party who kind of try to say they're a part of libertarian thought when, they're just Republicans.
Isn't it just libertarian when the Mississippi State Legislature wants to create a court specifically for Jackson, Mississippi, so they can, just try poor black people on their own docket?
Yeah.
Isn't it just libertarian when the Texas State Legislature wants
to
libertarian. Specifically designate election laws for Harris County, one of the most highly populous counties in the entire state that votes blue?
That's not Republican.
No, it's local control.
Oh, gotcha.
It's local control.
I mean, there's the reason it's very strategic why Tim doesn't just say, yeah, this is a conservative or center-right show, is because I would recommend people Timba on Toast, Timbah on Toast.
Tim Pool Fence Sitter.
On YouTube, yeah, Tim Pool Fence Sitter. A really long look at this, but that's in Tim Pool, like, he knows that he gets an entire audience full of people who want to hear, like, oh, Trump's going to win in a landslide. But he's valuable to them because he's not a right-winger nominally. He's supposedly something else, something independent, because even right-wingers are like, okay, look, it's good hearing that Trump the election stolen or whatever, but I feel like at a certain point I might be sniffing my own farts, and so I'm going to go try to get a liberal's perspective on this, and that's what Tim Pool provides. And so like if he actually ever said he's a center-right one, people are going to be like, well, I'm just going to go to the people who are like less coy about like being a right winger.
This is a tale as old as time, and MR, before I've been here, years before, has been great at covering this. Is the reactionary right-wing media ecosystem is built on people who espouse right-wing talking points but say that they're apolitical. It's one of the only ways to launder right-wing thought and build an audience in that way, is to sell unpopular ideas under the guise of free thought and pretending that they are not political in and of themselves when everything is political. And so, yeah, Tim Pool is also resting on a fatal and convenient assumption that it's not just how he covers something, which, like, as Timba on Toast lays out very well, will contain a lot of caveats and fence sitting, but it's what you cover. It's honestly probably more what you cover than what you say in the coverage. And what Tim Pool covers is exclusively, basically, right-wing content.
I mean, this is a guy who did like 20 videos on the Jussie Smollett thing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's emphasis. That's the most important thing that people in our field have to grapple with, is what do we emphasize? Because you can't emphasize everything. You have to emphasize specific things. And what you do choose to cover is as important. Again, I'm repeating myself, but as what you say in that coverage. Here is the second clip that we've pulled here of Lance on Tim Pool's show, Timcast, where they start to talk about trans people and gender-affirming care here.
This is just Lance at the end of it clowning on Tim. Like Tim just gets so angry because Lance is not taking him seriously.
Yeah, there we go. Well, I mean, I look forward to that.
Okay, so my follow-up is, you think trans people feel safer than ever?
No. Right now, there's over 400 different bills being pushed in the United States that is directly targeting trans people.
So they don't feel safe?
Of course they don't.
So then why are they coming out if they don't feel safe?
They have more access because that generation, Generation Z, has a lot more acceptance towards trans people than older people who pass laws, draconian people who pass laws. The boomers are the ones running the show right now. They're still the ones in government. They're still the ones passing laws. There's very few Generation Z in government or parliament.
You want to know what I think? I think there is a trans genocide.
Okay.
And I think it's you.
Okay.
Because you're sterilizing a lot of these people.
How so?
I mean, they're literally sterilizing them.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I think trans people are committing a genocide by sterilizing themselves.
The surgery to remove the gonads, hysterectomies, and puberty and cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers have a high rate of sterilization. I mean, first of all, removal of the gonad.
So I guess sterilization should be outlawed, even if people want it. No opportunity if you want to get your tubes tied, to use a crude term for when people who have uteruses choose to have that. No vasectomies. That's sterilization, is it not? You're removing, because you want to not have any children anymore, your ability to get pregnant or impregnate someone.
Again, like the implied frivolity with which Tim thinks people get these surgeries is just it's a fucking smear, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, nobody is getting these surgeries just like, okay, Snapchat told me that I'm trans, and now doctor, give it to me.
Yeah.
Like, this is after a prolonged period of social transitioning that has nothing to do with any sort of like pharmaceutical or surgical intervention, which, by the way, Tim Pool and all these fucking losers are against too. They're against the pronoun shit. That's why they've made that a big fucking thing the entire time. Guess what? You don't need surgeries for pronouns. You don't get sterilized when somebody calls you she instead of he. This is what they do when they're called to account. They act like, oh, I'm just asking questions about, is medicine going too far? But the actual thing is, no, you hate all of this stuff. And so, like, you can say, like, oh, you're actually concerned about the trans genocide in the same statement where you're denying that they even exist.
Exactly. And if they just cared about medical mutilation, as I said, they'd be against vasectomies, they'd be against any voluntary sterilization for people who have uteruses, they'd be against breast augmentation, they'd be against breast reduction surgery, they'd be against rhinoplasties under the age of 18. Oh, you're mutilating your face.
Criminal butchers.
Exactly. But they're not. So here we go.
I mean, they're literally sterilizing them. The surgery to remove the gonads, hysterectomies, and puberty and cross-sex hormones and puberty blockers have a high rate of sterilization. I mean, first of all, removal of the gonads in the uterus is an absolute sterilization, and then puberty blockers have a very high rate.
They aren't giving bottom. Oh man, Lance looks so tired. Just like so tired.
Cross-sex hormones have an extremely high rate of sterilizing the individual. So these people can no longer reproduce. That's genocide.
Right. Is this the joke you're gonna go for?
Joke?
Yeah. Just like, yeah, dude. I think there might be a difference between forcing sterilization on a group of people versus like people choosing that for themselves. Like, my goodness.
You are removing these people's ability to reproduce.
You?
And if they're a young...
What, like, sorry, Lance is doing this?
I guess, yeah.
Or is this,
is Lance
like...
a doctor? Is Lance a gender-affirming care provider?
Yeah, or is this, like, the patients themselves, their parents, and doctors over a prolonged period of assessment? like, nobody's doing this to anybody.
It's that one.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, this is what I appreciate where Lance goes from here, is just, like, to establish what we need to establish when we watch videos like this. Tim Pool is a fundamentally unserious person who does not warrant serious inquiry when he said shit like this.
It's also like
he's not a serious person.
It's not a trans genocide. They're still alive and they're making this choice themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not passed down through birth. Like,
No.
you're not eliminating trans people because trans people aren't having trans children. That's not how that works.
What's freakish and like sort of medically brutal is to say, like, okay, this child socially transitioning starting like age 4, which is very common, like that young kids know. Okay, now they're 12, approaching puberty, and there's actual interventions that can be done to help them avoid a puberty into a body that they no longer identify with. Forcing them, because a fucking Republican lawmaker needed it to get elected, to go through that puberty that to me is monstrous. That to me is genocide. That to me is asking that person to consider suicide.
Yep. Here we go.
That's genocide.
Is this the joke you're gonna go for?
Joke? You are removing these people's ability to reproduce. And if they're a young age and they haven't had the ability, like for instance, Jazz Jennings can never have kids. Jazz Jennings also, and this is probably
Why
part of
do
your
you
studies,
care?
can't actually feel any sexual feeling of any kind.
Do you have any idea how weird this sounds right now? Like, why are you obsessed with a stranger's genital pleasure? That's so weird. That's so bizarre.
That was very weird yourself.
You guys are all weird.
So I'm talking about adults who engage in activities, which is a large portion of the global economy, whether you like it or not. Sex sells, they say. And when I say this person will never have this ability, you go, how weird is that?
It's weird for you to fixate on a stranger's genital pleasure. That's strange.
It's
so bizarre.
Well,
Like,
she's
why-
public about it.
But see, you're not making an argument right now, is my point.
I'm not. I'm saying it's weird. It's not an argument.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's-
like, that's an observation.
So you're trying to make an appeal to emotion and an appeal to shame.
I'm just giving-
So you're trying to do all the... No, just saying it's weird, bro.
The argument is, this shit is all irrelevant and not politics, and you're fucking like that is an argument.
Yes.
Like Lance is gonna be generous and say, fine, I'm just making an observation. No, that's an argument. Argument is like, this is fucking bullshit. What are we talking about?
The argument is stop fixating on Jazz Jennings, a 22-year-old YouTuber,
Who I've
sexual
never heard of
pleasure, you
before.
Yeah.
fucking freak.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And like, what if she could? What if all of a sudden, like, the medicine has gotten to a point where, okay, actually she feels even better pleasure? Like, what fucking point does it? It doesn't. It's
that's
all
not
entirely
even
irrelevant.
true. There are trans women feel. He has no idea what he's talking about. I know. I've trans women feel pleasure.
Oh, yeah, we do.
It's.
And even if one does it, like, who cares?
That's their choice.
Right? Like,
I mean, again, this is the medical freedom people. Do we have like stuff from what Tim Pool was saying about vaccines?
Damn it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I remember him being in favor of people's individual freedom to make their own choices with medicine. But here we go.
About it.
But see, you're not making an argument right now, is my point.
I'm not. I'm saying it's weird. It's not an argument.
Yeah,
I'm just that's an observation.
So you're trying to make an appeal to emotion and an appeal to shame.
No, I'm just giving you my genuine thought when you say something like that. Like,
Well,
why should
it was a really fucking pathetic attempt at trying to make an argument.
He's so mad.
A pathetic attempt at an argument that Lance specifically said he wasn't making because he was making an observation, which was basically an argument that you're a fucking freak, Tim.
How about this, Tim? You're a groomer. Fixating on other people's sexualities, fixating on it for no reason. How about that? That's why he got triggered. Because he knows that his fixation is unnatural and fucked up, and that he's titillated in some way by it. And that is what he's providing for their audience. Like, some fixation on other people's genitalia and sexuality. Psycho.
What do you call it? Really fucking pathetic. Like, that is somebody who is mad.
That's wait, is that an argument? Is that an argument?
You're doing a fucking appeal to emotion.
Yeah, right. You're doing a fucking appeal to emotion by triggering me.
Sorry, is it also an argument to say that you're saying that? Is it a really
Emma's
cogent
such a
argument
good
that a 22-year-old YouTuber apparently, according to you, doesn't feel sexual pleasure because she's a trans person?
I mean,
Show your evidence, Tim.
Tim's really not familiar with anatomy. I'd imagine that his partners probably would feel the same way. Not to, I'm
Jazz Jennings, another instance. Like, actually, this is the thing to drill down on.
I'm fixating on it because he's going there.
Right. But this puts the lie to all their bullshit. Jennings was assigned male at birth and was diagnosed with gender dysphoria by age 4. The idea that all of this is some sort of thing they learn at school, before you're not at school yet, or some sort of mind virus by TikTok is just ludicrous. This is all that's happened is kids who did this like 60 years ago were told, no, put on these fucking bib overalls and do this. And now we have a different context for that. And that is like, there's no debate here. There's no actual debate with regards to any of these issues, and like that's the thing that needs to be underlined to anybody who isn't like there yet, which hopefully most people listening to this are.
All right, so now we have that, and then this is the third part that we have here from Lance's appearance. They talk about abortion here. Tim, I mean, again, he was trying earlier to claim
I can't
that
wait to see where Tim goes with
this show is not right-wing.
Libertarian, yeah.
Look at the framing that he has when asking a question about abortion here.
Oh God.
Should she have the ability to have an abortion for any reason? Yes.
At 9 months.
At 9 months? I would say at 9 months, because it only happens, according to the stats, based on complete medical necessity. She has a right to do it.
Hold on. Sorry, just to answer this before we get to it, like, yes, that's the answer. Is we don't need Republican lawmakers getting involved here. This is between people, women, people giving birth, and their doctors. And there needs to be like the implied thing is that again you can't trust people, and you need the state to get involved, and you don't. You simply don't need to like be doing that.
Should she have the ability to have an abortion for any reason? Yes.
At 9 months.
At 9 months. I would say at 9 months, because it only happens, according to the stats, based on complete medical necessity. She has a right to do it.
Hold on. Colorado legalized abortion up to 9 months with no medical reason required. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that decision, yes.
So the baby could survive on its own, and the mother is legally now allowed to just end its life.
She has the right if she wanted to. You're saying so in Colorado, and I'm
sorry. Again, this is an undercutting of medical professionals and their.
I mean, look. The best answer here would just be like, if the baby can survive outside the mother, then yeah, obviously viability like is taken into account when it comes to like abortion rights. Obviously, you know. So the question I have is why feel the need to be like, well, doctors actually, you know, are really good, you know, they only do this when necessary. You gotta make them bite the bullet when it comes to the issue, right? Like, they fundamentally don't want to, rather, they reject their own ability to imagine the scenario of like a woman giving birth who will die if like the baby is delivered, you know, like that happens. It happens too often, and the only reason an abortion would be done in that situation is to save the life of the mother, you know.
Research and understanding of this topic. A mother just doesn't just like go and like, am I gonna wear a blue top today or a red top today, or am I gonna kill my baby who's like 8 months and viable outside the womb, the fetus, or am I going to keep it? That's not how it works. Yeah. When these situations arise, when a person is at that point of pregnancy where a late-term abortion is necessary, it is because the life of the mother is in danger, there are medical issues involved here, and it's a doctor making that choice.
Exactly.
And especially in the context of what we're dealing with in this country right now, with massive amounts of litigation and legal tie-ups over abortion, and doctors potentially fearing for that they'll get disbarred or go into prison if they violate these theocratic laws in any way. Those late-term abortion decisions are incredibly rare, and just because of those really narrow and scary options that are in play when a woman or a person who's pregnant at that period is when that has to be considered. It's a last resort. It's a last resort every time.
And that's why, like, exactly. This is why. Okay, this horrible situation is occurring, and where it's usually dealt with by medical professionals, which is what it should be dealt with in the patient. It's now all of a sudden we need to talk to a judge and make sure that they're not going to fuck my career over if I help this person. Because guess what? Like, even. And I don't understand how, like, you get to adulthood without being aware of this, but like when there are miscarriages, that's called a D&C. I forget what the D stands for, but curettage is the
dilatation and curettage.
And that is like the same coding medically as an abortion. And like, again, we've seen this over and over again already, that doctors will be in a situation where it's like, okay, we need to operate here, but this law is on the books and I could be screwed for it, so just have the miscarriage instead.
Yeah, right. And we already seen those examples.
A woman in Oklahoma was essentially told that she has to wait in the parking lot until she's essentially bleeding out before the life-saving determination could be made.
That happens way more than the 9-month. I changed my mind.
Exactly. I mean, and this is the thing that Tim Pool has made a lot of money on, is talking about politics in such an abstract way that it completely strips out the context that we're talking about here, which is like the realities. It's like, it's the 24ification of political discourse.
Exactly. It's the ticking time bomb because, the terrorist is, in the new trade center.
Right. And that would never happen in real life. Like, would you support torture if Jack Bauer had only 24 hours to get rid of a bomb that would kill 10,000 people? And in like that, very narrow discourse about philosophy and morality in this situation that will have never.
Airbnb, thank you so much for the $25 dono, on top of the gifted sub and the sub on Twitch with yourself with Prime. Thank you for swooping in and making a dono. I really appreciate it. Especially because you are so far the only person today to support the show. So I literally couldn't make the show without the help of viewers like you. Thank you. Sharing the love, well, I certainly appreciate it. Thank you so goddamn much. And yes, chat, do consider supporting with donos or subs over on riverboat.gg, because that helps me to not die.
Never happen. Most people would say yes, but that's never gonna fucking
currently
happen.
Everyone
and so why
except
are we talking about it?
Airbnb
It's
is
the same thing with the late-term abortion. I don't want to be a mom, even though I've decided to carry this pregnancy almost fully to term, and I want the baby to die in front of me. That doesn't fucking happen. But here we go.
And it's a smear of people that happens.
Yes.
So the baby could survive on its own, and the mother is legally now allowed to just end its life.
She has the right if she wanted to. You're saying so in Colorado, and
it's not a trick question. You're
I know, but I'm asking you because you're the one who brought this up. I don't know what Colorado specific law says. So if you were saying that in Colorado, women have the ability at 9 months to have an abortion for any reason, they could just decide that
elective,
yeah. Okay, I think they should have the right to do that, but the stats show that they're not doing that. But they should have a legal right to do that. Yes, it's their body, it's their choice, of course.
So this is what I disagree on. I think if the baby needs to be removed from the woman, there's no reason to kill it. You know what I mean? Like, you could just C-section and then put up for adoption.
I'm telling you that doesn't happen.
Casual C-section.
It does. But hold on.
Like, you might be able to bring up anecdotes, but the stats don't say that.
Hold on. Like, why allow it to happen? I just don't understand. Are you arguing? Hold on. Are you arguing you oppose it? And you think it's morally wrong, but you think it should be legal?
I think that women should have the right to decide what they do and have bodily autonomy over their own bodies.
We're not talking about her body. We're talking about...
It is her body. We're talking about... Is that 9 months? Even if it's still inside her, it's still her body. Even if it's a viable baby, it's still her body.
We're talking about the removal of the baby, yes?
No, we're talking about something that never happened.
Forceful.
So she chooses to have that. She should have the right.
The woman says the baby must be removed from my body. Why kill the baby if they're removing it?
I don't think they should do that. I would. If they ask me, Lance, should I do this? I would say no, but she should have a right. Yes, of course. It's her body still. still.
No,
That doesn't
listen.
stop.
So, like, the woman is pregnant, the baby is viable and capable of surviving on its own.
Sure.
And she says, before it breaches oxygen, kill it. Do you think that should be allowed?
How it goes.
This is again the baby guillotines.
That's yeah, no situation like that has ever happened. You know, like, they don't just kill babies at the command of mothers. Like, no. They would like do a C-section. They would deliver the baby. Like, does Tim Pool not realize that, like, at 9 months in this scenario, they would still have to take out the baby? It's not like it gets disposed of by the body, the human body. You know, like, what? Man.
This is why I brought that up.
Which is why, again, if at 9 months the mom's like, kill it, they're not going to do that. Like, the doctors won't do that because they have to take out the baby either way. He probably knows and is being hyperbolic as fuck. Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
But what a weird scenario. This doesn't happen. This is not the real world.
But it does. And if the argument is that it doesn't happen enough for you to care, that's fine. You're allowed to believe that.
Sure.
What I don't understand is it seems like your position is a rather shocked position where you recognize there is something inherently wrong with taking the life of a baby that could survive on its own, but you're also taking the tribal position of women should be allowed to do it anyway.
No. If you were to ask me, Tim, hey, Lance, do you think it's a good idea if this woman who's 9 months pregnant, suddenly she got bored with the pregnancy, she doesn't want to have it anymore, the baby's viable, do you think that's a good thing to do? I would be like, no, of course not.
Then why should it be allowed?
Because it's still her right, it's still her body. Bodily autonomy doesn't stop at high morality.
Love you, Lance, but
that's
yeah,
not really
that's
where
not really
it
what
is.
happens.
It's because of, like, I think the broader effect. Like, I think, like, you're right, but ultimately it's, I think, because of, like, it's unenforceable. Like this idea that, because again, you have to have a judge come in and adjudicate, and you have the exact same problems you have now, like
It's a pretend problem used to make sure that abortion is limited.
But even if you granted that it was real,
legitimate uses, even in but like, I'm sorry, hey Tim, you know, uterus over here. When women or people who get pregnant are at that point and the fetus is viable,
like Emma's over here. Hey, I'm womaning over here.
Labor is induced. It's induced. That's what happens in these medical situations. If she's going to be okay, or they are going to be okay when they're giving birth. Not what you're describing. The woman, like, you know, I went through all of this. I took prenatal vitamins. I went to the doctor. I spent all this money on these visits and medical situations, but I'm bored with this, you know? I'm just a total psycho, and I'd love to kill the baby in front of me. I mean, that's the pretend situation that they're putting up there. And the reason that they create straw men like this is to limit abortion rights more broadly.
Right.
So the point is that this is a false conversation. It's like saying, you know, what would you do if the sky was green and the grass was blue? I don't really know, because that's not the case. So why are we engaging in this? It's masturbatory, you know, in and of itself. But what the political implications are it's that it's disempowering.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like it's a solution to a fake problem that actually solves other problems that they don't want to admit they think are problems, which is that women have the right to choose broadly.
And the thing that Tim says, like, why not just let the baby live? What are you talking about? That's never happened. That has never happened. Where
they kill the baby.
Yeah, where they're like, I've gone through, the fetus is viable. I don't want the baby, and I could give the baby up for adoption, or we could just kill it right now. That has never happened. A doctor doesn't allow that to happen because this is a part of a larger delegitimization of academia, of expertise, and of medical professionals, where they pretend that these situations are commonplace when they just don't happen.
Yeah, so the simple answer to, like, well, if you agree it's wrong, well, why don't you agree there should be a law about it? Is one, because it doesn't happen, and two, because it would have other harmful effects.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah, we're done with that? All right.
No, God.
He's an idiot, Tim Pool. He
Tim
really
Pool
is.
is a dumbie.
Also, like, where are the Republicans saying, like, what is it, 8 month then? Like, yeah, they always say, like, oh, it's 9 months. Like,
oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, what, like, why are you making it down to, like, such and such weeks then?
Yeah. I mean, I know people who have, like, or at least one person who's been the fetus was not viable, like, forced to give birth, okay? It's incredibly traumatic.
Yeah. And I know somebody who had, like, a miscarriage, and it was called D&C, but also, like, coded as an abortion. That person wasn't a pro-abortion, but now, like, sees the problem with like, Younger was against abortion, but now sees the problem with legislating this because of the complications there. Like, it's just like it's a needless. There's not a problem of rampant abortions. Like there's a problem of women not being empowered to, like, have control of their health.
And Lance only makes one more interesting point here. We don't have to get. It's just not. There's not too much left of the clip. That regardless of this insane edge case that they're talking about, which is always where these arguments go to, like, the most radical 1% of 1% edge, bleeding edge cases that might be litigated or adjudicated, is that Lance just makes the point that whatever Lance's personal morality might be on the subject, and I also think not just Lance, anybody's, whatever anybody's personal morality on the subject is, that is not the line where the morality and the ability for a woman to have bodily autonomy both end. It's not incumbent upon us to have moral judgment or moral casting about a woman's bodily autonomy. That does, like, it doesn't necessarily, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I think it's totally fine for a baby to come out of somebody's womb and then for us to shoot it dead. I don't know, something like that. That's not the point.
Yeah.
Whether I think that's okay or not has nothing to do with the issue. The morale.
But that never happens. That's the point. Yeah,
exactly.
right.
Like there's like that type of moral question is stuff that Tim loves to talk about, where he says, "Oh, I really want to talk about the issues," then I get bogged down in philosophical moral bullshit. That bullshit does not matter when it comes to these circumstances.
Honestly, yeah, like, Tim would be better served writing fan fiction. Honestly, if you want to deal with things that are just not based in reality, write fan fiction about whatever TV show you love, and, like, you can make your two faves kiss, and you can, you know, what do you call it, stan them or ship them?
Because as you're saying, this is actually functionally when we have people bleeding out in parking lots because the life-saving threshold isn't being met. That's real. That's
Probably
actually
but I
happening.
have a
This
dex
shit's not
build,
happening.
Exactly.
Which doesn't help. Hello, Doodleburb.
Come from a...
How you doing?
I am completely out of good video ideas. Where am I going to find more good video ideas?
He's back, y'all.
Filming videos is the only thing that makes me happy, so I stole this baby.
It turns out you guys have been leaving me your childhood invention ideas for years. The only problem is I can't sort through which ones are bad, which ones are terrible, and which ones are absolute dog water. So I started training my new advanced neural network to help me pick which of your invention ideas to build in real life. All right, baby, what's the first idea that we've got?
And I'm not giving him back until I've gotten enough ideas for a video.
Can you let go? Thank you.
Your first childhood invention idea comes from Inferno Monkey, who wants shoes that use a suction to walk on the ceiling. Wahoo! So after Googling how to suck on things really hard, I found these cool suckers with handles that construction workers use to lift heavy objects. And lucky for me, I live next to an active construction site that let me borrow their suction devices. Also, I stole that guy's rollerblades. This should be everything I need.
It's got these two mounting points. I have two middle brackets here. Then the shoe can attach to those brackets. It's very important that I cut all of these brackets perfectly identically so you can see that these two pieces are the same.
This feels like
For some reason, none of my parts were fitting right.
Oh, I'm not strong.
So I had to use a vise in reverse to force the brackets open.
Oh, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. Oh yeah, that's nice.
So after drilling some nice-looking holes
God, come on, Alan.
Yes.
and bolting everything together, I should have a real working pair of ceiling shoes. Shoes for walking on the ceiling.
I just remembered I never told you how these work. The construction suckers, they have vacuum pumps in them, so it acts like a giant suction cup. I've installed these valves and these remotes, so when I turn this on, it's gonna suck to the floor and there's no way to release it, but when I press this button, it lets air in, and then I can open it up. Check this out. Oh, oh, oh God, oh, it's really hard to hold like this. Ah, oh. Just like Michael Jackson, except for all the bad stuff.
At first, I tried getting to the ceiling by walking up the wall like a cartoon, but I think that might be impossible. So instead, I'm gonna try using a pull-up bar and a table.
Okay, I think I'm ready. Left boot, activate. Right boot, activate. Just gotta get up to the ceiling here. Come on. Stick. Ah! Audrey, can you move this table for me? Ha! Oh, this is really weird. I'm gonna put this cushion
you
under
did it.
me in case I fall so I don't break my neck. I am literally standing upside down on the ceiling. I'm really scared about taking this first step. One small step for a man, one giant leap for a pan. Alright, let's try and open this up.
Min-Max, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders.
Oh, oh my God. Oh, and then step forward.
Oh my God.
Alright, yeah, that was one step. Now I just gotta take another step. Oh, oh God.
Oh, no.
I'm moving. I'm walking forward. Now I'm gonna try left foot forward. Oh, oh no. Ah, that was a lot farther than I thought I would get, honestly. Left foot off, right foot off. Oh, that was really difficult. I was able to take 2 steps, but on the last step, I think the ceiling kind of broke. That's
Oh
not
my
even
God.
my fault. That's the home builder's fault for not accommodating upside down people.
Inferno Monkey, these shoes are frickin' awesome. Let's-a go, 8 out of 10. This next idea definitely sounds like a kid came up with it. It's basically a lightsaber made out of a laser and a mirror. Well, I already had a laser that's strong enough to blind people, so that's good.
I had this exact same idea when I was a kid. I mean, it makes sense, right? How else would you make a lightsaber other than with a laser and a mirror that moves up and down so that it bounces off of me? It's flawless kid logic.
So I found a car that nobody was using and borrowed its power antenna. Then I 3D printed some parts to combine the antenna with my laser, along with a button for extension and retraction and a battery to power everything.
Here it is. I don't really know if it looks like a lightsaber. It definitely looks like a science thing. All I did was hot glue a mirror at the end of the power antenna at an angle, and I got really paranoid about like if the laser was gonna bounce back into my hand, so I put this giant piece of cardboard here for the hand guard. Laser on! Oh, okay, that's very bright. And now we're gonna go ahead and extend the power antenna. Oh my God, it's working. Oh my God, it's actually
That's so cool.
bouncing back, and it looks kind of like a blade, actually. Oh God, but when I move it even a little bit, this is cursed. This is actually really, really bad. Like if I try and swing it around, do you see that? It's just ending up everywhere. Like a regular laser is somehow like 10 times safer than this stupid thing is. Okay, let's see if we can kill anything with it, I guess. Balloon me, Audrey. Ah! Oh, it didn't pop. Balloon me once more. Come on! Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh, there it goes. And when it bounces back and it misses the hilt, the handguard, it's hitting the balloon on the ground. If I literally hold the balloon in here for like a second, it'll probably pop.
Yeah, but it takes like a full second for it to like actually do that.
So far, this invention seems pretty disappointing. But what if we made it 1,000 times stronger? So I visited my friend Backdoor Scientist to try making a lightsaber with a mirror and his 2,000 watt welding laser.
Can you still work if I'm reflecting lights back in your eyes? Not really. That's not right, Kevin. You shouldn't own this thing. So we've got the laser here. It's gonna shoot to the mirror
and bounce back to this piece of wood.
Right now we're forming this like triangle blade here. Pray for me. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God! It shot right through! Right through the mirror. That mirror didn't do anything. Okay, so now we've got 2 mirrors. Move the first mirror so that it's not the same blast hole. Put a second mirror behind it. If it blasts through the first mirror, then we're gonna make an infinity laser between the 2 mirrors. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, it didn't matter at all! It went through both mirrors into the wood. Instantly.
I don't know why I thought a mirror would stop this laser. It can shoot through plate steel.
You're shooting through the metal.
Look at what it does to this soda can.
Oh, that's so cool. It made a hole through the LaCroix can.
I give this idea 1 out of 10, and Kevin's laser a 10 out of 10 for a total score of 11 out of 10.
Oh my God, that's so
If you've ever wanted to see me in person, and Backyard Scientist, and Code Bullet, and Emily the Engineer, and 75 of the best science YouTubers there are, we're all gonna be together in San Francisco on July 15th and 16th at Open Sauce. It's like if a YouTube convention and a carnival and a science fair.
Next idea, baby. When Simon Henry Behrens 253 was a child, he wanted a plunger grapple gun. So I found this plunger from a cartoon and then hammered a thing onto it to pull some string through and then loaded it into a plunger grapple gun.
I got tired of filming things.
This CO2 cartridge and ball valve should make the plunger fly, and this whole hog with a hand winch connected with a timing belt should bring the plunger back.
Oh no, I've got to bring the trash back in, but it's all the way over there and I don't want to walk. Plunger grapple gun, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God!
That's so cool.
I honestly didn't think it was going to be that much. Okay, well, let's reel her in. It made itself go inside out. It shot out so fast it got inside out. I didn't even care that I missed the trash can. That was awesome. We're gonna try this again, a little bit closer, a little more stable. We got rat trap glue on the plunger now, in case it hits inside out. Let's line this shot up. Plunger test 2, 3, 2, 1. Oh, how did I miss again? Come on! I'm just gonna reset really fast. We're gonna pretend like that one didn't happen. Plunger test 2, 3, 2, 1. You fucking kidding me? That one didn't happen either. Plunger grapple test 2, 3, 2, 1. Yes! Oh my God, oh no, it didn't stick. It didn't suction, and then the glue kept it on for like a second, and then it just didn't stick. Oh man. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna stick this on manually then. Yeah, there you go. Yes! Oh my God, that's quite control. Just pretend that this thing can definitely stick on really, really good. Yeah! Oh! That's... Oh! I guess it kind of works.
3 out of 10, not as good as Fortnite. Am I supposed to feed you? You've been working for like 12 hours, baby. No? You're not saying anything. All right, you want to keep working?
Wow, thank you. What is this one? Oh, lawnmower boots.
Desanova wants lawnmower boots to make their chores easier. And honestly, I could use this invention too because I've never mowed my lawn before. I do have a pole saw, but it's too tall to reach the grass. So attaching them to boots should be the perfect solution.
Oh, there's this wire inside and it's like stretchy. But I don't know how to get rid of this without cutting this.
So I decided to just leave the poles attached and use them like walking sticks. I need to make this more stable so I don't cut my ankles off.
Yeah, okay.
So I made a little platform for my feetsies with the aluminum channel.
Yeah, there we go.
And then I screwed a boot to them.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
horribly unsafe. Oh my god.
Did you know that a coconut is about as hard as a human skull?
Oh my god.
Myth confirmed. All right, that's enough screwing around. It's time to get to work.
This is so somehow, chat, I feel like this is the most dangerous thing I've ever seen a human being do. You know, like, holy shit. I know objectively that's not the case, but like, this feels up there.
Yeah! The lawnmower boots are surprisingly easy to use. Like, I bet a kid could even use these if they had really bad parents. And if I get lucky, maybe I'll find a gopher hole under these weeds.
Oh, that's sad.
I kind of thought I was gonna die, but it actually worked. This childhood invention might be the best one yet.
Easy.
Desanova, that is a 9 out of 10. Very good. I am going to give the baby back now. But first, I need to give it a bath because it smells like it has a poopy diaper. I think. I'm not sure. And now I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Brilliant.
Alan Pan is a delight. What a delight. What an absolute delight. I say. How we doing, folks? How we doing? I've thought multiple times about getting mini-handled chainsaws and putting them out in case of home invasion, because that would be so much cooler than a gun or a baseball bat. It would confuse the person breaking in. 11 out of 10 idea. Yo, legit. Any robber, any like thief in the night who suddenly hears a chainsaw fucking start, they are immediately running. That somehow that's so much scarier than a gun, you know? That's like the fucking sound of a chainsaw from upstairs while you're trying to burgle the downstairs. I legit want a halberd for home defense. Honestly, a pretty great idea. Did you know, fun fact, the easiest weapon to train people with is the spear. Taking a completely unskilled person, you can drill them for like a week or two and teach them how to effectively use a spear in formation, you know? Doesn't have to be good enough to like win a martial arts tournament, but it's enough to effectively become a combat unit. Anyway, how we doing, folks? Also, we've been streaming for almost 2 hours. If you've been enjoying the show, consider throwing some subs or donos my way. If you want to be in the on-screen chat, head on over to riverboat.gg. And anything you guys can throw our way, we still got a gift subs to a bunch of our lurkers. We got to get some more donos so that I don't die specifically. And it'd be real nice for you to come on and join us. So think about doing all of those things today. Let's see. Had another piece of content for us. My body. Actually, guns are the same. That is why guns were adopted en masse so early when they still really sucked. Well, yeah, of course. I'm talking about like hand-to-hand weapons though. But yeah, they work on similar levels, you know. Trying to think, what could we throw on here that'd be interesting to delve into for a while. Just tell your wife not to worry about it when you donate. Works like a charm. Hell yeah. I dressed down today, okay? Man, I feel like I had a bunch of like long form vids for us to watch. Was it? Oh wait, I remember. Good night, Nindreen. Please get some good rest. Here, you know what? You know what? Let's do this.
About 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I got IM'd. We take IMs every day, as you know. I got IM'd that...
Good night, Ashley. Get good sleep. Hope y'all having a good one, okay?
A guy named Jackson Hinkle wanted to debate me. And so we have a fairly open door policy here. People can call in at any time.
Oh, this is his debate with Jackson Hinkle. Oh, this went so poorly for Jackson. Okay, I didn't know it was that one. We're not going to do this one.
Hey, Sam, this is Dan Norton from California.
Dan from California, what's on your mind?
Yeah, we talked a few weeks ago about objectivism. I don't know if you know that call.
Okay.
Yes, we know that call.
Just want to make sure. Okay.
Oh, you're the guy who has the fertility issues.
I think that, sure.
Okay. So you broke up a little bit there.
So, let's see. There was a lot I wanted to talk about since the last show. Where to start?
Well, why don't you pick the most important thing you wanted to talk about?
Most important? Okay. I guess the island example we were talking about. I'd like to go back to that.
Okay, refresh my memory now.
Okay, so I asked, it was about the issue of coercion. So if you're alone on an island, the first question is, if you're alone on an island, do you need to work to survive? And I got an answer to that from you and from Matt.
What did I say?
But I didn't hear Emma.
Well, wait.
You eventually...
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, forget Emma. Like, we don't need to. I don't need to take a tour of like Bradley and Emma, and then maybe we can ask
we go in the hallway,
guys working in the building and this and that. I mean, okay. So, what's your point? You're going to make a point. It's not about taking a survey.
I thought there might have been some disagreement. That's why I was raising this, because Emma was the one who was bringing up the issue of coercion the most. So
yes,
I thought it would be.
But
what's the point you want to make, though? What's the point you want to make?
Well, I want to know what you think is and isn't coercion, ultimately, because I think that's the root of the disagreements, or at least one root.
All right, well, give me an example, and I'll tell you if I think it's coercive.
Okay, well, maybe we can do you know Vosh's Coconut Island example?
No.
Okay. It's kind of vulgar, so maybe I'll give a version of it.
Well, or not.
But a lot
How
of
about you
people-
come up with another example? How's that?
Okay. Maybe I can debate that with him sometime if he wants. But
yeah.
So let's just say that there are two people on an island,
Okay.
and at first they don't know about each other. Like, imagine the one is on each side of the island.
Okay.
Split in half, and they don't. Okay, so each one is surviving by himself at first, and
okay.
At that stage, you would say, is it correct that you would say neither is being coerced?
Neither man, right? Yeah, 'cause they're
Neither man is being coerced. I mean, if they're not in any way aware of each other, so they can't be coercing each other, and there's I don't know what other dynamic exists, but assuming there's nobody else on the island, right? They're not being coerced.
Okay, so there's no coercion if they're just by themselves in nature, acting. Okay, now suppose that they discover each other, or one discovers the other, and they start trading with each other. Like one guy says, all right, I'll do the fishing, and you work on building the shelter.
You work on building the shelter.
And so forth.
Okay.
Yeah, is there any coercion at that point?
I mean, in the way that you just described it, no.
Okay, so simply trading is not coercive. All right, so now suppose that one is much better at catching fish. So maybe one can catch.
Oh
like
my
10
God.
times,
Wait, one is. I thought you
100
said that one is building
my
the shelter
God.
and one's catching fish.
No, that was the end of the second example. I'm making modifications to examples.
Okay, so now they're both fishing. They're both fishing.
Yeah, they're both fishing independently. They're not trading now.
Okay,
but one is much better at catching fish.
But neither one of them knows this, right? Because they're not talking to each other. They don't know that they exist.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So if one catches way more fish than the other, 10 times more fish.
10 times more fish.
There's still no. So
they don't know that each other exists. So there's no coercion because they don't even know that each other exists. They can't be coercing each other.
Right. Okay. So there's massive wealth inequality, but there's no coercion yet because they're not even interacting.
Right.
Now. Okay. Now suppose they discover each other.
Oh, hey.
One
Okay.
Continues. Okay. So one continues to be able to catch way more fish than the other one.
Right.
Is there coercion now?
Is one of them trying to get the other to do something?
Okay, well, let's say the one who can catch way more fish says, hey, I'll give you some of my fish if you do this other thing for me, like, let's say, work on building the shelter.
How desperately does this other person need fish?
Let's say, I mean, he's as desperate as he was before they met.
So he can't even fish for
his
any
situation.
So he can feed himself.
His situation.
He can feed himself. He has fish. He's surviving.
Yeah, let's suppose he can eke out a meager existence on his own.
Well, I mean,
But
he's not
way
starving.
better.
He's not starving.
Yeah, let's say he just gets barely enough nutrition to survive and not die. He could survive much better if he traded with the other person and he.
Well, wait a second. Does he have the strength to do to build the shelter?
If he accepts the deal.
Oh, so he doesn't have the strength to build the shelter. He has no shelter.
No, if he accepts the deal and he says, yes, I'll take some of your fish because you're so good at catching fish.
No, he's not going to take fish because the guy's so good at catching fish. He takes fish because, like, I'm starving. Like, I need fish. Does he need fish? Yes or no?
The analogy is worse without the dick sucking.
He
I
needs
agree.
more fish if he's going to be able to build a shelter. Let's say that.
He needs more fish to survive because you need shelter to survive.
No, not necessarily. If it's nice weather out on a beach or something.
Okay, so
you don't need a house.
he's got enough food and he's living life and he's okay.
For those who don't know, Gamer G, Coconut Island is basically trying to explain the coercive power and influence of capitalism and how it works. And it goes like this, right? A plane crashes in the ocean. There are two survivors. There are two survivors, you and another person. The other person wakes up before you, is able to monopolize all of the resources, and you wake up. Is it then coercive for you to be in a situation of need, because you don't have the resources? Is it coercive of them to say, I will give you coconuts to survive if you are, if you suck my dick? Is that coercion, in that situation? And obviously, yes, but a lot of capitalists don't actually want to bite the bullet on that one. The coconuts are the only food source on the island, so that people don't try and hypothetical oh well, I would just go and fish. Nope. Too salty. Sea's too salty. No fish. No sea life. Just coconuts.
No, he's on the edge of dying.
Oh wait, so he's on the edge of dying. He's on the edge of dying.
When he's by himself.
Okay, so if he's on the edge of dying, and the other guy says, "I'll give you fish." In other words, I will save your life if you do this for me.
Better.
No, you just said he's on the edge of dying.
Yeah, you keep trying to have it both ways on this knife edge.
Let me ask you this, Dan. Let me give you a scenario. You and I are hiking, okay? Because you and I like to hike, and we're hanging out, and you get near an edge of a cliff, and the dirt gives way. And you're hanging on to a branch, okay? You're alive, but it's tenuous. And I'm the only way that you're going to get saved. And I go, Dan, here, give me your hand. But wait a second, before you give me your hand, do you have any money on you? And you say, yeah, I always travel with traveler's checks. I got hundreds of dollars of traveler's checks. And I'm like, well, Dan, I'll tell you what. If you give me those traveler's checks and sign them over to me, I just assume you travel with traveler's checks. Maybe it's cash. And you give me that, I will save your life. Is that coercive of me?
My first thought is...
You don't got much time, Dan, because that branch is starting to give way, bud.
No, I think you would be a terrible person for making that offer, but...
It's not coercive.
No, I don't think it would.
It's not coercive.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think it would just be corrupt.
It would be corrupt. Corrupt?
Yeah.
What do you mean corrupt?
Yeah.
Why corrupt?
Because you're treating a human being just terribly.
What do you mean I'm treating you terribly? I'm just making an arrangement with you. I'm giving you an opportunity. You have cash on you. It's just an exchange.
An exchange between two free-thinking
what's
individuals.
It's just trade.
It's trade.
It's a rotten kind of trade.
What do you mean it's a rotten kind of trade? What makes it rotten, Dan?
You want to deprive someone of all his money?
What do you mean deprive you of your money? It's just your choice. Do you want your money or do you want the help?
Is it worth it to you or not?
Yeah, it's just a trade.
You said he was giving away all his money, all his...
No, you, Dan. Dan, I'm saying to you, do you want to give me your money and I'll help you or not? I'm going to trade my labor in helping you, saving your life, and for your money. It's just a trade. What's so corrupt about that? What makes it corrupt?
What's so corrupt about taking away someone's life savings?
Whoa. I didn't say life savings. It's just one in your pocket.
Traveler's checks in your pocket.
It's up to you. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not coercing you, am I?
Obviously, if it's a trivial amount, or even if it's
okay. Wait. So what makes it corrupt, though? Okay, wait. So what makes it corrupt, though? I think we're getting to it, Dan, because corrupt's not the right word, right? What's the word that is? What is? There's some dynamic between us that you feel is wrong for me to take advantage of this. But what am I taking advantage of?
My unfortunate situation.
Your situation is such that I am using leverage to your disadvantaged situation to my benefit. There's another word for that, Dan. It starts with the C.
It is though, bro.
It's not corrupt.
Why isn't it Why isn't it coercion?
Coercion is like a physical kind of threat that you are imposing on someone. It's not.
Whoa! Coercion's only physical? You don't think your life and limb? Like, well, it's got to be physical. So your life hangs in the balance.
Right.
Right. So what would you call it?
But you didn't.
What do you call non-physical? If this is non-physical, what do you call it? What is that dynamic? What is it called when you leverage someone's disadvantaged situation for your benefit?
You could call it exploitation.
It's exploitive? Well, that seems sort of, so I'm exploiting your situation, but what am I doing? What's the dynamic between us?
He can't admit it.
It's exploitation. It's not coercion, though. It's not the same thing.
Okay. Bye, Dan.
We've
The
got
branch just broke, bud. I appreciate the call.
Once again, a libertarian retreats to pedantry. Once again.
Appreciate the call.
Hey, Wimpy.
Okay.
Bye.
That is all our time that we have for a call today. That is the Doppler effect, as you hear Dan going, bye.
You are missing fun stuff, Legend of Sean.
I like the idea that, like, it's so funny. Like,
I don't like how we made eye contact
this guy's
the entire time.
This guy's so good at fishing. It's not that he found some like magic fishing hole or can't. Why wouldn't he teach the other guy to fish? Remember that old adage? You teach a man or give a man a fish, teach a man to fish. That sort of thing. Of course, it's coercive. If you're on an island and one guy is just getting all these fish and the other guy can't figure out how to feed themselves, and the other guy starts using those fish instead of saying, "Hey, this is how you catch a fish," then that's that person coercing the other.
You're leveraging someone's hunger,
starvation, literally the basis thing.
Is that not physical? Also, I don't understand how hanging from a branch and needing a hand up and then potentially falling to your death is not physical. It's quite literally the definition of it.
Spiritually too, it's also not so good for you.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get to
You can't quantify
the walkers tomorrow.
Here's a Joseph Townsend again, a dozen years before Reverend Malthus was writing about similar things. Hunger will tame the fiercest animals. It will teach decency and civility, obedience and subjection to the most perverse. In general, it is only hunger which can spur and goad the poor onto labor.
That's weird.
A coercion or no? I don't know.
No, that's it.
Take issue with Townsend over there.
We can get to the walkers tomorrow because my understanding is he's posting more.
Okay, we'll also get to the Shapiro. We got a lot of clips that we didn't get to. Do you think a whip is coercive if you don't actually touch them with it? What if you just take it and go, and you don't actually physically touch them? Is it coercive? I mean, is it coercive if you just have a gun and you don't fire it at somebody?
Yeah, gun to the head.
Guess what this
but
means.
You're not actually hurting them physically.
If I don't pull the trigger, there's no physical threat.
If I come up to you with a shotgun and then cock it and chamber in one of the shotgun shells, is that coercive?
I mean, that's just exploitation.
That is ultimately pedantry. You see enough of these debates. It's always that's where you go.
Hi, it's me, Aaron.
Okay, Aaron, where are you calling from?
California. We spoke before last year. I'm the Libertarian.
Legend of
You're
Sean.
the
I don't think
Libertarian?
we've seen that one yet.
I was the guy we spoke last year.
Aw, irked, I'm sorry.
You had a YouTube video that says the Libertarian caller tried to outwit Sam Cedar.
I mean, I feel like we probably have like
You don't
10 of
remember me.
those. But I'm sorry, Aaron. I don't remember you, but I'm happy to hear from you. I just, you have to understand, I do
Is he looking
2 or
for
3
content?
shows
Maybe.
a year, and we get, a lot of libertarian
Maybe.
calls, but I appreciate your calling in.
No worries, no worries. What were you? Our last conversation was about the minimum wage.
Sorry, guys. I always aim for 8,
And I kind
but
of wanted
today's been
to
hard.
rectify. So the last thing I said, like, in LA, it was it's more than $15 an hour to have an apartment and the amenities to live. A basic standard of living that you presented. And I said that it's still not enough, but at the same time, I'm still not for the minimum wage. I think that's kind of like where we started off.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, I was saying that I think the minimum wage should allow you to be able to afford to live where you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. It's definitely not. $50 an hour in LA, I mean, if you're trying to get like a basic apartment on your own, unfortunately, it's not enough, and I understand that because of libertarians. And it's not to say I don't want people to have more money and to, not live properly. It's just that I just don't believe in the state is capable of doing that.
Okay. I'm sorry. Say again.
I don't believe them. I don't believe that the minimum wage will cater to that.
Oh God, I talked to one of these assholes on Twitter for way too long the other
do that
day.
for people. Even if you raise it to like $20 an hour or $100 an hour, I just don't think that's, first of all, that's possible. But even if you could, I think what would happen would be inflation, and well, that's pretty much it. Because when you really think about it, it's not really necessarily the price. It's not necessarily the price that is the problem. It is the productivity, the limited resources that people have in regards to what we have in LA.
My body.
There's a lot of people living in LA, but there's just not a lot of homes. So if you really want to focus on the standard of living, you need to focus on production as opposed to the living wage. And that's my belief.
All right. So you're saying that if you want to allow people to live in LA, we need to have more homes, and
you need yes.
And maybe we need to decommodify to a certain extent too, right?
Yes.
What do you mean by decommodify?
Well, we got a lot of people out there using homes to make a profit.
Okay.
Right? And the numbers I've seen are something like around 30 to 40,000 people who are unhoused. Probably more. I think we're just talking LA, right? And that there's something like close to 100,000 vacant units. That seems like... That doesn't seem like efficient use of resources, does it?
No, for sure. But why are they vacant, and how are they able to sustain vacant homes? Or vacant places? That's my question.
How are the owners able to sustain vacant homes? Well, maybe they're renting them out with Airbnb. Maybe they just are rich enough to afford housing.
Right. So you think? Okay. That would suck. That would suck if they're just like investing into.
Maybe they're looking to just looking to flip it.
So what kind of like legislation would you stipulate?
There's a lot of
to solve
places
that issue?
I know. There's a lot of places upstate that I know. For instance, in New York, just off the top of my head, where they're basically saying like can't do short-term rentals anymore.
Okay. Short-term rentals. And what?
Can't do Airbnb, which you're using it as a hotel. You got to actually put it on the market, put it on the rental market. That would, you put 93,000 units on the rental market, and rents are going to come down.
Got it. Okay, that could be a solution, but at the same time, I don't think. I think that's a solution for people that are invested in living there for a very long time. But I don't think it really solves the issue with, and I'm not saying it because I want to contradict you because, I'm a libertarian. Like I said, that's good for people that need homes, like maybe not permanently, but for long term. But I think to really solve the issue is finding a ways to.
This guy's just wacky.
make more homes. And I think one of the issues with the production of homes is you're probably gonna disagree with me, but maybe.
Well, I just told you we have all the homes we need. Right?
Okay.
I mean,
right.
I mean, before we get into how building, how building codes are making it hard to build new homes, I mean, I think like if you're worried about the supply of homes, they're clearly there.
Okay.
Aaron, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to touch base.
All right.
Oh my God.
Call me again. He must wait to call when he's in his car, and then he just sort of. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, one quick fact for anybody that enters these debates in the future is just to know that housing vacancies usually outstrip houselessness by a factor of 3. Most places. We have lots and lots of vacant homes.
I mean, I think I am okay also with, getting building codes so that we can go higher in certain areas and have more density. I think that can.
Oh
be
yeah,
helpful.
I would get rid of my personal, my war on cars. I would get rid of parking requirements. That if you need a certain amount of parking spaces for a certain amount of units, that basically is a subsidy to cars.
Yep. I mean, there's a whole host of different things that we can do. In the meantime, we can also raise the minimum wage, which will help people. But if you're worried about it being inflationary, if you basically think that we can never attain an equilibrium where people can afford to live in a place, right? Like, I mean, if inflation's not just a function. We can inflate wages, or people can make enough money so that they can afford to live there. And if your theory is that if that happens, people are just going to raise their prices and price a certain amount of people out, which I think probably is sort of like foundational to our system, then it seems like if you actually are concerned about allowing people to be able to live in a place and afford to live, then it seems to me that you have to then I get support.
I don't think Sam is arguing in favor of getting building codes loosened. I think he's arguing for better zoning. When it comes to zoning for property, certain zones can be restricted to certain heights, certain types of stuff like that. Yeah. The caller seemed to think like you. Oh yeah, no, the caller absolutely was. All libertarians want there to be no building codes whatsoever.
Some function of the state to make it affordable for people to stop that sort of cycle. Maybe it's rent control. Maybe it's limiting the ways in which you can profit off of an apartment or a house. There's a whole host of different ways in which there can be intervention to stop that cycle, if you believe that's the cycle that inevitably is going to happen.
To protect your community.
Well, folks, I guess I'm gonna keep the stream short and sweet today, because again, I am zooted. I don't know. I know today wasn't the best content, but hope you still come back again. Might stream a little bit tomorrow in the afternoon. We'll see. But I love y'all. Thanks for being here. Thank you to Airbnb for being the main sponsor of today's show. And y'all have a good one, okay? Just gonna throw you guys over. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Night, everybody.